Hi gang, Steve Jensen, Dr. J from the National Sales Academy and Impact Training, and getting ready for Christmas. Well, hopefully you're going to have a fantastic Christmas, but today we're going to be talking about 2021. Who would have thought we're talking about 2021? I can just think back to last Christmas when we were in Australia. We were dealing with the floods and the fires, and then we had good old COVID coming along. One of the, let's say, success stories has been that we've actually been all very resilient. We forget about the hard stuff, and now we're going to project for the good stuff in 2021. Many people are saying it's going to be a boom period. So today what I'd like to do is to give you some ideas to actually make 2021 really successful for you. If you want success, it's a personal thing. What does success mean to you? So this will be a quickie, but I'd like to just throw a few things out to you. Get your trusty pen out and make a couple of notes. The first thing I'd like to say is well done to everybody that's here right now in business, in a job, and actually pushing forward to next year. December is a fun time where we're going to be hanging out with family and friends. But we need to make sure that we plan for the remainder of December and also project to not just January, but also February and March. This is the time to plan. What you do now will predict your future. It's no good saying I'm going to hit the ground running in January, because January will be here just before we know it, and we'll become incredibly, what's that word, busy. And busy means that we have excuses, that we can't get things done. So I'm going to throw some things out a little bit outside the box today for you to consider. So the first thing I want to do is to make sure that you are in a mindset of growth. A growth mindset actually allows us to then take on new things and new skills. And one of the most important things is that we are learning what we need to do or have done next year. You might think, is it written down? Is the plan in place? But I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here that might maybe shift that mindset a little bit. The first thing is, if you're learning new skills, are you really learning them? One of the things we've been doing in the Sales Authority Club has been making sure that people really understand that the process of practice, drill, rehearse is taken on board and really implemented. If you don't practice or do things, especially in this area of sales, you're going to be having a little bit of, say, a knowledge, but you're not going to be able to do. We only learn by doing. So I'm going to share my screen here a little bit for you and just show you a couple of little things that you might find interesting. Okay. So what I want to do here is to make sure that we are on the same page here, because if we're going to get ready, we need to get ready and know how to do. So December should be planned, and now January, yep, and February and March. Yeah, that might say, wow, that's a bit over the top, Doc, because I've just got over this year. No, next year is going to be here in a couple of weeks. Now, the mindset and having a clarity in your plan is critical. And the one thing that I want to make sure you're really clear on today is that if we learn by doing, are you learning the things that you need to do? Are you proficient at doing them? Have you done the practice, the drill, rehearse? Now, I was talking to one of our clients just yesterday, and this young man, Michael, was absolutely phenomenal. He'd been doing practice and drill, rehearse with his team members every single day. And the beautiful thing about it was that they were getting great results because of the PDR that they were doing on a regular basis. It was just music to my ears. Now, they are the technicians. The question I'll ask you is, are you learning things that you don't need to do, but you really need to find out someone that can do it for you? This was brought to my attention just about a month ago. And it's not just how you need to do things, is are you doing the things that you need to do? Should you find someone, in other words, finding the who that can do it better? Are you putting your energy into the things that you can get a result from, or are you spending a lot of time doing things that other people should be doing that could be freeing your time up to do the things that are going to make you more successful or your business boom? I truly believe that a lot of us are incredibly resilient and want to learn lots of stuff. And then we learn stuff that we don't know how to do very well. We don't do the practice. We don't become experts. And all of a sudden, we spend a significant amount of time and we don't succeed. The question is, are you doing the things that you're good at? Are you learning what needs to be done? Are you finding the who that needs to do it for you? It might be to review your team. Are your team the right people doing the right job? Because everything has evolved in the last, 6 to 8 months or so, hasn't it? We've had to pivot and do things a little bit differently. Do things the same and you'll be disappointed. I said this last week, and it's resonated with a lot of you. The next thing I want to make sure you're really clear on is, if you're training your team members to do things, are you continually doing your practice, drill, rehearse so they have the success that they want? I don't know any sales professional or leader or manager that doesn't continually practice and do the things that they need to do to make sure that they're better, or they can empower their skill sets onto their team. If you are a sales professional, what are you practicing right now? And from my experience of over 30 years on helping businesses and individuals in those businesses be incredibly successful, the ones that have raised the bar and actually have done more in their practice and their drill rehearse are the ones that have succeeded. And especially over the last, say, 6 to 9 months, the ones that have actually turned up, done the practice, done the rehearsal, and make sure it becomes a neural pathway. Now, they're the people that are going to do it. They're the right people. Are you trying to learn stuff that you don't know how to do, that you're going to bump into a few walls? And maybe it might be a good idea to look at who you need to have done doing these things, and making sure that these things are done by the people that want to do it, have a desire to be successful, and will do the practice, drill, rehearse. Now, this is a big wake-up call. If you're not prepared to do the practice, drill, rehearse to make sure you're better, then you're going to go backwards. It's using the big D word, the discipline. This is now an essential component for success. So I'm going to ask you another question. What are you going to be doing to have a discipline, to have a routine that you're going to do on a regular basis? If you've got to turn up at 10 o'clock on a Monday or a Wednesday to do your PDR, or your practice, drill, rehearse, have you got the discipline to put it in that diary and make sure that it's important enough to do? Because if the doing is important for you to learn how to perfect the activity, if you're not doing the practice, it's just going to be knowledge, and you'll always rubber band back to what you've always done. So are you doing the things that maybe others should be doing? And should you be finding a who? There's a wonderful book that I'll show you in a moment that you should be listening to. And I've actually found it really inspiring. Now, what I want to also now share with you, I'll share my screen a little bit, is another process that I think is critical. We're doing it in our Sales Authority Club. For those of you in the Sales Authority Club, you know this, but we're streaming onto a few other platforms today. The next thing I want to make sure you're clear on is, who are your circles of influence? Going into 2021, I want to ask you the question, is your circle of influence are going to be the key of you thinking differently, being inspired, and being able to put your hand up to help to make sure you succeed. Now, who you're surrounding yourself with will make a massive difference to how you perform, or what you do, or how you find your who's. And the more important thing here is, you've got to ask yourself, who is or who are your who, and who is the people that are going to be your circle of influence? And more importantly, do you have a mentor? Now, if you have a mentor, terrific. If you don't, you've got to find one. Now, sometimes you'll pay for that mentor person. I was talking to one of my close friends and one of our clients just yesterday, and he was saying that he surrounded himself in his board with people at significant success and have inroads to be able to have access to other people that are having the success he wants his business to have. Their track record was outstanding, and surrounding yourself with those sorts of people that have the happiness and also the success in their business is critical. The question we ask everybody, especially in our Sales Authority Club, because we're doing goal setting this month, and many of you have rung me and said you've actually filled this out and made some significant shifts. Is your circle of influence the people that have the revenues and the happiness barometer that you want to have too? Because if you're around people that are not going in the same direction, you don't discard them, but you've got to find those people that are and will help you along the way. There's a little sheet we gave to our crew in the Sales Authority Club, and many of them have filled it out already and made some significant shifts just in a week. So the question we'll ask you is, what are you doing to surround yourself with the right people? Who are you surrounding yourself with? I love to read and listen to audiobooks. These are two that I found incredibly valuable to me last year. Oh, this year, not last year. I'm within 2021 now. So it's the Thank and Grow Rich, which I listened probably 2 or 3 times throughout the year. And as I said, I listened to that book a number of times, put a strategy in place. And it's the who, not how that I was introduced to by Jamie Hayes. Was absolutely phenomenal. I strongly recommend for you, for personal development, do the Thank and Grow Rich, and for your business and your personal success, go to the who, not how. And I think it will actually be quite valuable for you. I like the audiobooks. And as I'm going to show you now, recommendation is to read a number of books a month. I've always said, and I'll always preach this, you're better off reading one book 100 times than 100 books, because it might be entertaining and you might like that, terrific. But I've actually been given as a gift with a very close friend of mine this wonderful Soundview book summaries. These have been outstanding. I can pick the type of genre I want to. I'll pick the summaries. It only goes for about an hour, and I can listen to that book quite easily 5 or 6 times. I recommend that you might invest in that. It's I think it's $100 for a whole year, or whatever the case may be. Even if it was more, if it was triple the price, it would be cheap. Now, I've also created a reading list for you guys in the Sales Authority Club. You've got complete access to that. That was in our notes in this download. Please use it and pick some of the things, and maybe buddy up with somebody to listen or read a book together. This is a great outcome to be able to then get your learning and say, well, what are we going to do, and who do I need to do it for me? Now, putting this into action is not hard. I'll come back to the D word. Do you have the discipline to create a plan and do it? I was inspired by Evelyn this morning. It's a rainy old day, and she got out there and she says just getting out of bed and getting that cup of coffee to start off with on her walk, and that's just the hardest bit. And then when she gets it done, everything is just full steam ahead. Find that trigger that gets you going. Every single day, having a routine. And again, the people that I find that have been significantly successful are people that have a routine that they do on a daily basis, and they don't actually waver from that at all. It's part of their success barometer. So the question we'll ask you to wrap up today is, right, what are you going to learn? Are you going to turn up and do the practice drill rehearsal? You're just going to learn something and think you'll learn it via osmosis? Well, I can assure you, you're going to be disappointed. Are you going to learn it? You're going to do it. You're going to turn up. You're going to do your PDR. If you want to fast track the process, great. Now, we've got a PDR challenge. We're going to do easy upskilling challenge for 7 days real soon. And we'll be putting it out there to everybody, and I'd love you to come on. We'll teach you your pitch, and we'll then teach you how to chunk things to accelerate your learning. So it's a really exciting way of actually teaching you how to do that PDR. The next question we'll finish off with is, I've Have you got the right people doing the jobs that are necessary to be done? Are you trying to do everything, or are you finding your who's? Are you finding who should I get to do that? That is an expert that will save me the time or will get the job done so much better. And the last thing, are you surrounding yourself with people that will inspire you, that you can put your hand up for help in 2021? Because hopefully your plan for December, January, February, March is done. Not a lot of stuff today, but it's something for you to ponder. And I'd love you to take some massive action with it, because action is everything. It's turning up and doing. Now, you guys in the Sales Authority Club and the Sales Success Club, we regularly come on and do training and so forth. We have PDR on a Wednesday, and we also have Get It Done Friday. I'm going to throw it out to you. Put it in your diary and turn up. Ask your questions. Let's do the practice and let's kick some goals, because we learn by doing. All right, gang. We'll look forward to catching up with you next week for TNC Wednesday, and we'll kick some goals and make sure 2021's a cracker. I'm Dr. J. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.